I am Aura Invests, and today we're exploring one of the most fascinating business transformations in modern corporate history. A story about a retired man, a secret recipe, and a strategy that turned a roadside kitchen into one of the most recognized food brands on Earth. This is the story of how KFC became a global fast food empire. But more importantly, this is the story of how persistence, franchising strategy, and timing created a billion-dollar brand. Chapter 1. America in Crisis Created the Opportunity. To understand KFC's success, we need to go back to the year 1930. America was in the middle of the Great Depression. Businesses were collapsing, jobs were disappearing, and economic survival itself became a daily struggle. During this time, a man named Colonel Harland Sanders started serving fried chicken from travelers from a small roadside service station in Kentucky. He didn't open a restaurant. He didn't raise investment capital. He simply started cooking. And that decision changed everything. Because Sanders understood something most businesses ignored. Travelers don't just need fuel for their cars, they need food for their journey. Chapter 2. The First Competitive Advantage. By 1939, Sanders had developed what would later become one of the most famous recipes in business history, the 11 herbs and spices formula. But the recipe alone wasn't enough. His real innovation was operational. Instead of traditional frying methods that took too long, he began using pressure cookers to prepare chicken faster while keeping moisture locked inside. This meant higher output, better consistency, and faster customer service. Before fast food even existed as an industry category, this was KFC's first true business advantage: speed plus quality. Chapter 3. The moment everything collapsed. Then something unexpected happened. A new highway opened. Traffic shifted away from Sanders' restaurant location. Customers disappeared. Revenue collapsed. His business shut down. Most entrepreneurs would have stopped there, especially at age 65. But Sanders made a decision that changed business history. Instead of reopening another restaurant, he decided to sell his recipe. Chapter 4. The Franchise Strategy That Built an Empire. In 1952, Sanders created one of the smartest strategic pivots in restaurant history. He began licensing his chicken recipe to restaurant owners across America. Instead of building restaurants himself, he allowed others to operate them. In exchange, he earned royalties from every chicken sold. This is what we now call the franchise model. It allowed rapid expansion without massive capital investment. Instead of building infrastructure, he scaled distribution. Instead of hiring employees, he partnered with entrepreneurs. Instead of managing locations, he built a network. This single decision transformed KFC from a restaurant into a scalable business system. Chapter 5. Hundreds of rejections before success. History often remembers success stories as smooth journeys, but Sanders' expansion strategy was anything but easy. He traveled across the United States pitching his recipe to restaurant owners. Door after door closed, offer after offer rejected. It is believed he faced more than 1,000 rejections. Yet he continued. Because he understood something powerful. Persistence creates leverage over time. Eventually, restaurant owners began saying yes, and once momentum started, growth accelerated rapidly. Chapter 6. Selling the company was a strategic move. By 1964, KFC had expanded to more than 600 locations. At this stage, Sanders made another unexpected decision. He sold the company for approximately $2 million. But here's what most people misunderstand. He didn't sell his identity. He remained the public face of the brand, which meant ownership changed, but brand trust stayed intact. This allowed investors to scale the company globally while preserving the authenticity customers trusted. It was a brilliant leadership transition strategy. Chapter 8. Corporate expansion begins. After the acquisition, KFC entered a new growth phase. International markets opened rapidly. The brand expanded into Canada, United Kingdom, Mexico, Australia, and across Europe. KFC was no longer an American restaurant chain. It was becoming a global food brand. Chapter 9. The PepsiCo era accelerated growth. Later, PepsiCo acquired KFC as part of its restaurant portfolio strategy. This was a major turning point, because PepsiCo already had global logistics, distribution networks, supplier relationships, and marketing scale. KFC suddenly gained access to infrastructure that would have taken decades to build independently. Growth speed multiplied overnight. Chapter 10. The creation of Yum brands. In 1997, PepsiCo separated its restaurant division, and a new company was formed, Yum Brands. This new parent company combined KFC, Pizza Hut, and Taco Bell into one of the most powerful restaurant portfolios in the world. Instead of competing alone, KFC became part of a global restaurant ecosystem. Chapter 10. The China strategy that changed everything. One of the most important decisions in KFC's history happened quietly. The company entered China earlier than most Western competitors. That move changed everything. Today, China is one of KFC's largest revenue-generating markets globally. While competitors focused on saturated Western markets, KFC invested in emerging economies. That decision created long-term dominance. Chapter 11. KFC Today, a modern franchise powerhouse. Today, KFC operates in over 150 countries with tens of thousands of locations worldwide. Most restaurants are franchise-owned, which means lower corporate risk, higher global reach, and consistent royalty income streams. This is why franchise businesses scale faster than traditional restaurant companies. Business lessons from KFC. KFC's story teaches 5 powerful lessons. Start small, but think scalable. Protect your intellectual property. Use franchising to expand faster. Enter emerging markets early. And most importantly, success can begin at any age. A roadside kitchen became a global empire, not because of luck, but because of strategy. I am Aura Invests. If you enjoyed deep business stories about how global companies build wealth and power, subscribe to Aura Invests, and I'll see you in the next episode. Business Growth.